Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is June the 20th, 2019. Strong hand. Be a unique beast. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Personal responsibility is a new counterculture. Your home for Bitcoin insider information. No fancy sets or graphics. Conviction. Always be learning. Always be learning. Remember, if you're watching this tape, play it at 2x. If you're watching this live, if you've got questions, type in Bitcoin Meister in the chat so I can answer your questions. I can only see it when you type in Bitcoin Meister or you do a super chat. Also, remember, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. in Los Angeles, This Week in Bitcoin. Oh, it's soon. David Bennett will be on. Christian will be on. And so will Bitcoin Tina. Oh, you love all those guests. This Week in Bitcoin, the best guests in the space you find here every Friday at some time. And that time is 2 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, Friday. Pound that like button. All right, let's talk about the Fed, or let's talk about interest rates, or let's talk about government interference in the financial markets, because you know what? You can complain about it. You can scream about it, but it helps Bitcoin. Here's a great tweet from Bernstein. And that's his last name, at least. And so it begins, an arms race of central banks around the world competing to devalue their currencies. Fiat will leak into scarce assets, and the scarcest asset in the world will disproportionately benefit. It's like they're conspiring to pump Bitcoin. Thank you for your service. Yes, thank you for your service, central banks. Yes, you're going into the monetary policy of printing your fiat like crazy. It looks like it's about to happen. People are talking about it with the Fed. They're going to change their policy. Interest rates are dropping. So they say, I don't worry about it. I say, you print a lot of fiat. People, if you get a lot of fiat, don't like value your wealth in that fiat. Put it into something that's scarce. They're giving you something for free. Put it into something that's not free. Okay, so they're giving you the opportunity. You could go what most people do. Oh, look at this! I'll go spend it on useless things, on a new car, on this, that, and the other. And the end of the day, you're in more debt at the end of the day, which is not what you should be doing. So you get your fiat. You don't value your wealth in fiat. You put it into something scarce, like this guy says, and that is Bitcoin. So 20%ers will know to do this, and Bitcoin will benefit because of all these financial shenanigans. I don't complain about it. I just you analyze the situation and you do what you got to do. You got to value your wealth in Bitcoin and know that this is what Bitcoin was made for when governments would create their welfare dollars and increase the size of the welfare dollar. And of course, all the fiat lovers out there, the 80%ers, they won't know the difference. They'll be getting bigger and better big screen TVs. So they'll be happy and we'll be happy. Pound that like button. The crypto guy, what's he have to say? Oh, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. I finally found the perfect portfolio allocation. 40% Bitcoin, 25% Bitcoin, 5% Bitcoin, 30% Bitcoin. Pound that like button, dude. That's a portfolio that I like. That's not just that crypto portfolio nonsense. That's the real deal Holyfield, baby. Or the real deal Adam Kawanicki. That'll be the new thing. Holyfield, he was a old school boxer. Now Adam Kawanicki, I'm destroying his last name. Watch yesterday's show if you want to know about the Polish powerhouse from Brooklyn and his attempt to become the heavyweight champion of the world. And hopefully Bitcoin will ride his coattails to glory because he loves Bitcoin. That's yesterday's show. All right. And you can always watch my archives, disruptmeister.com, TECHBALT. Follow me on Twitter. I've been tweeting out my podcast. You can listen to all my podcasts, sportsmeister.com. And my podcasts are obviously all these shows in audio form, because you really don't need to see me and the freezer here to like understand what's going on. I mean, again, if you're an 80%er and you like to see freezers and fancy sets and graphics, then I watch another channel. I don't know. This is about content. So you can listen to it at sportsmeister.com also. And Bitcoin Meister, what's your opinion about the Satoshi story around Paul LaRue? Yeah, I've discussed this before. It's totally FUD, totally clickbait, totally ridiculous. And again, we've been through this. If you maybe you're new, every year to 6 months, there's a new Satoshi, okay? And it's so salacious. Each one's more salacious than the last one. So we've got criminal Satoshi. We've got Jim Jones Satoshi. We had California Asian man Satoshi. That wasn't too controversial. We're going to keep getting these. And perhaps some people out there will take the clickbait and keep on, clicking on the articles and giving all those mainstream propaganda outlets clicks. And then they'll complain, oh, why is Vox so powerful? And why? Because you keep clicking on their stories. And so again, it doesn't matter. And guess what? Next year, there'll be another story about another fake Satoshi that'll be even more convincing. And all the people who love conspiracies will be like, yes, obviously, it was the FBI behind it that made up this French, Canadian, Australian Satoshi. And it was all, and I'm selling all my Bitcoin because the NSA's behind it. I mean, and that's what it leads to, all this nonsense. So that's what I think about it. I've discussed it before. It's a total waste of time. Total waste of time. All right. So, but again, if you like doom and gloom and being a no coiner, that's that's good. It's interesting stuff to waste your time with and to worry about. And moving on, this guy, Yossi Hassan, says, I opened a new U.S. bank account. In the 6 days that it took for my wire to transfer from my other U.S. account to my new account was debited $25.95 for being under the minimum balance to not be charged a fee, and another $34 overdraft fee. And yet crypto is the scam. Hey, dude, that is a great point. But hey, people like to poke fun at Bitcoin. They say, oh, it's a scam, it's this, it's that, it's the other. And then if you stay with the traditional financial markets and you have your bank account, you try to open a new bank account, you get charged fees up the yin yang. And it's so slow that you end up having negative balances, and you get charged even more and more. So they keep on taking from you, and it's an incredible. What a racket! But people opt into it. That's it. And for some people, it's convenient, I guess. Let me tell you about this. I think eventually the banks won't be able to pull all those nonsense charges off anymore, because smart banks who want to stay alive and relevant in the 2030s will become Bitcoin banks also. So they'll deal with fiat, they'll be Bitcoin friendly, and they're just not going to be able to get away with doing incredible, $50 fees for nonsense, for mistakes. And the ones who continue down that path will probably become obsolete. I think Bitcoin will force the hands of some of these banks to become a little bit more sensible or friendly in terms of their fees. They're not going to be able to get away with it. Right now they have a monopoly on saving your wealth, basically. So they get to charge fees like that. They're not going to have that monopoly forever. And even 80%ers will get tired of dealing with banks that pay that charge those incredible fees. But again, right at this point, they can still get away with it because most people don't want to be their own banks and get into Bitcoin. Eventually, banks will feel the pressure of people that are just totally opting out of the banking system. And then they'll have little carrots to get back in. Like, oh yeah, you can store your Bitcoin here also. And we won't charge you fees anymore to do that, or it won't take 3 days to wire your money or 7 days to wire your money. So again, I like that this guy brings up that here we're almost in the 2020s and we have banks that are still able to get away with this type of nonsense. But hey, more power to them. If people want to stick with that kind of thing, yet Bitcoin is a clear option to opt out of it, then let it. If they can print money like that, let them do it. All right. B Ruck says, did you see Riviera Beach City paying the ransom of $600,000 to hackers? And you know what, B Ruck, were you the one who sent me that over Twitter. Someone just informed me of it, okay? And guess what? I didn't have time to look at it, and I'm so glad you reminded me of it. I'm going to look at it again. But if the headline is true, then it appears that they wanted about 100 Bitcoin at the time that Bitcoin was worth about $6,000, and they paid it, which is pretty amazing because that's a lot more than what the Baltimore guys wanted, and the Baltimore people never paid it, but it cost the Baltimore people even more in the long run. So yeah, I did hear about it. It is something to investigate, and it is just a reminder that if you're one of these bloated city bureaucracies, a long time ago, you should have bought some Bitcoin as insurance, just so you wouldn't have to get into this type of situation. So, back in the day, if you would have gotten 100 Bitcoin for $400, it would have cost you $40,000, which seemed like a lot then. But in the future, if you ever got held up like these guys did, and for like 50 Bitcoin, you would pay them the 50 Bitcoin, you'd be free, you'd learn your lesson, you would improve IT, and you would still have an extra 50 Bitcoin. You would have come out ahead, actually. But yeah, thanks for that. I got to actually write that down right now to look into Florida. Okay, yeah, I somehow that slipped my mind. Again, I thank everyone who sends me all sorts of stories. Sometimes I get sent way too many stories, but thanks for that reminder. Pound that like button, everyone. Thanks for the questions. Okay. So we talked about the bank accounts, and that winning banks in the future will have to definitely change their ways. They won't be able to do that anymore. So the Block Crypto has an article out here, and this is, this should scare you guys straight. Nothing bad actually happened, but Coinbase detected and blocked an attempted attack on user funds. Coinbase was among several crypto companies able to detect and block an attempted hack on Monday, according to reports. So again, there are a lot of people that think, it's just as good. It is just as good as a bank, because a bank can get robbed also. Okay, it's a centralized point of weakness. Coinbase is. People have tried to hack it. This is proof that they tried. They did not succeed at all. But after a story like this, why are you keeping any funds at Coinbase? Now, I know there's some of you out there that, diversified for the sake of diversification. You were keeping your Bitcoin there. So now you have something called 0x. You wouldn't know how to store it in the first place anywhere else. That's a bad situation to get yourself into, dudes. If you buy a cryptocurrency, you should definitely know how to store it at something other than a third party, because once it's at a third party like Coinbase, it can get hacked, and someone tried to hack it the other day. So get yourself a Trezor, learn how to send the Bitcoin, learn how to store a Bitcoin properly. And again, if you store your Bitcoin properly, you get crypto dividends, you get interest on your Bitcoin, you get these airdrops, and you get these forks, and you turn it into more Bitcoin thanks to crypto dividends. It is something. This is insider information here. Not everybody knows about this type of stuff, but hey, if you watch the show, you do. And if you don't watch the show, then you know about who the latest fake Satoshi is, and that will get you nowhere in life. But if you know what a crypto dividend is, and you know how to store your Bitcoin, you'll get more Bitcoin. Pound that like button. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. All right, that's really about valuing your wealth in Bitcoin. So I do not want to hear the news one day that Coinbase actually got hacked. That would be horrible. And guess what? The price of Bitcoin would actually dip because of that in terms of fiat. There would be because people would say, oh, look, Bitcoin got hacked. Hey, that's why you got to have a strong hand. You got to be prepared for stories like that. And to really be prepared for a story like that, you control your own private key and you know how to store your Bitcoin. So yeah, we're another day closer to an all-time high. Bitcoin has always returned to its all-time fiat highs. And so another day closer to 20K or whatever it was, 19.6K. And I think a lot more people are getting the hang of this lately, because the last, week or 2 or 3 weeks, Bitcoin keeps on getting yearly highs. In terms of fiat, I think today, Bitcoin has not been this high in terms of fiat like in 13 months. So some new people who only got in when Bitcoin was going down, or they're even newer than that, they haven't seen this yet. The glory of Bitcoin in terms of it's taking slowly, step by step, but now it seems like it's getting a little faster. It returns to its all-time high. And so now it's returning to its yearly high, or its 13-month high, or its 14-month high. and we're going to be at a nice round number again, in theory, soon enough. If it's not soon enough, then continue your strong hand. But again, the whole concept of one day closer to an all-time high, I think people are able to, it's not this nebulous concept anymore. You can really see it in front of your face. Like, oh, wow, it is getting higher every day. It really could get to an all-time high again. Yeah, believe it or not, it will. It has in the past. It will again. Learn the 210,000 block theory that we talk about on the show. Okay, a guy named Satoshi says, more JW Weatherman controversy to date. He says BIP39 is insecure and he would never touch any hardware wallet. Okay, you know what? He says a lot of controversial things. He's like, he's incredibly paranoid about his big. I mean, he believes in Bitcoin, and it really to an extent where he takes it to a whole new level. Where if something even resembles a third party, he doesn't like it, apparently. So I haven't heard about this yet, but he's like, we need perspectives like that. Dudes who appear very paranoid about every aspect of securing your Bitcoin and that everything is a threat to Bitcoin. Again, I don't live my life that way, but he definitely, and he's an interesting guy to talk to, and I definitely don't agree with him on everything. I'll have to check out this latest thing. Satoshi, thank you. And this is, it totally sounds JW-ish to me, though. Totally. So he's a character in the space. Best guest on the space on this show. He has been one of them in the past, very recent. Check out techbalt.com to see it. So, and no, I don't agree with that, by the way. The knowledge that I have, he says BIP39 is insecure and he would never touch a hardware wallet. Clearly, that's not true with me. Trezor, baby. Heck yeah. And again, the other ones are okay too, but Trezor you can easily sign to get your crypto dividends. So that's when people ask me which one is the best one, that one's the best one right there. No, if BIP39 was insecure, we'd be in for a world of hurt right now. Okay, so I'm down that one, but hey, let JW be worried. So someone's got to be worried. I read the comment below that. You didn't type in Bitcoin Meister, do you? You said, what do you think of the BitFi wallet? Isn't that the nonsense one that the Belizean drug addict was talking about? Was he in Cuba now? That freak? No, I don't think anything of it. That's the one that was totally proven. Yeah, you have a Trezor. Keep the Trezor, dude. BitFi has no advantage. Again, if I'm getting BitFi confused with I was talking about McAfee. Was McAfee the one promoting BitFi? Yeah, I'm probably getting confused with the other one. Now, Trezor is the best one. Yeah, this guy says Cold Card is better than Trezor. In terms of combining safety and what's easy to use, the Trezor is much easier to use. So you said for more advanced users. Okay, I'm not talking. More advanced users. How many of them are actually out there? Seriously, I mean, in the whole cryptocurrency space, how many people actually know how to use a hardware wallet? What, 5%? Okay, and then we're talking about advanced users. Of that 5%, how many would be advanced users? Like 1% of that 5%? So I mean, yeah, I like what's his face? He's been on the show before. The guy behind Cold Card, and I haven't played around with the one that I have that much. So, but he's doing good things. What's his name? Rodolfo's Cold Card. So I hope I'm not messing up. I hope I'm not getting BitFi. We've got all these names that are like BitFi. There's that company that also gives you interest on your Bitcoin, which is totally ridiculous to give a company. And it sounds something like BitFi also. So I just get this bad vibe when I even see that written there. So if it's not the one that's promoted by McAfee, then whatever. But Trezor is the best one. And okay, so we talked about, all right, let's talk about Steemit right now. So I'm Bitcoin Meister on Steemit, and I like Steemit because I earned this by posting my my content there. I earned this thing called Steem, which is a cryptocurrency I turn into Bitcoin. And I don't know why anyone would buy Steem because you get it for free. But there is a guy. Another reason I like Steemit is because they're trying to get in the direction of cryptocurrency tied around social media, okay? And there's something to this, okay? And people are trying to type, and it would be great if you could have social media and people paid with Bitcoin through social media, and people are working on that also. But the Steemit thing has been going on since 2016, okay? Since the summer. Now it's almost been, I'll get my 3-year anniversary on there very, very soon. Wow, has the world changed since then. Oh my God. And so you always have all these people complaining about their YouTube and Facebook. But at the same time, some of us say, well, there's a social media platform that involves cryptocurrency. But Steemit hasn't changed very much over the years, okay? And it's definitely not very social. And this guy has a Steemit post that I think people should read. I re-steamed it, and I'm going to read you some bits and pieces from it because Steemit's got to improve. It's got to improve itself, okay? The guy says, ironically, the same set of people that have abandoned Steemit because of the crashing price of Steem are actively posting free content on other social network platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Then the big question arises, why are the same set of people who create free content on other mainstream social platforms, Facebook in particular, sites, are getting frustrated on Steemit due to low payouts? The answer is simple. There is nothing social about the present user interface we have on Steemit. In short, many users, I just lost my place there. Okay, about the present user interface we have on Steemit. In short, many users at best see Steemit as a place where you come, post your content, walk away, and return to harvest rewards. The present user interface does not give much room for social interaction. It is why more than half of the registered people on Steemit are always nowhere to be found in a bear market. So great point, dude. It's not social. It doesn't, people just post and go. I mean, and I'm guilty of it too. I post and I do talk about it. And I do re-steam people. And so I go a little bit beyond, and I've been consistent there. I don't leave because the price, the Steem fiat price has gone down. But they need to work on things to make it just a friendlier place where people are actually interacting. And it hasn't changed since 2016. It really hasn't changed since 2016. And for now, I'm trying to help people get Bitcoin. So if you're a content creator, keep posting. But there are no other benefits there besides just posting and leaving. It's a work in progress that is kind of stalled. It's definitely stalled out. But I hope that someone can come up with something that really makes it more social, or someone comes up with other truly social media platforms that involve cryptocurrency. There is something to this. There really is something to this. I've been saying it since 2016. And again, I've never given them a dime. I've just gotten a lot of steam from them and turned it into Bitcoin. Pound that like button. So let's hope for some changes over there. And I give this author credit because he's not. A lot of people like to post pro-Steemit things there with hopes that a lot of people are going to upvote them. That guy spoke the truth. So good for you, dude. I re-steamed you, and maybe you're watching this. Who knows? I did some. Sometimes on Google, I'll just type in Bitcoin, and I'll see what articles come up. And my Lord, I mean, you get clickbaity stuff like the father of 3 put everything in the Bitcoin. Here's what happened next. By the way, that's from Vox. It's not linked to below because I think it's like that site is nonsense a lot of the time, and it's totally clickbaity. And then there's just like the total FUD articles that'll come out on the Google search, and the ones that are just based on like it hit $9,300. It's not dead. I mean, they treat it like such a fad. The mainstreamy outlets out there, they really haven't gotten it yet. So it's unique. If you know where to go for the 20% sources of information, whether it be channels like this, whether it be Twitter feeds of guests that I have on my show, or channels of guys that I have on my show, guys and gals who are guests, who cares, this space doesn't discriminate. You can be a guy, you can be a gal, you can be a black, you can be a white, you can be a Christian, you can be a Jew, you can be an atheist. You can be in Bitcoin. Nothing's preventing you. But there's definitely, if you're a person who's just interested in Bitcoin and you just Google in Bitcoin, man, you're going to get clickbait. You're just going to go down the wrong path. You're going to end up buying altcoins. You're going to end up worrying about who the next fake Satoshi is and about what happens next where the father of three puts everything in a Bitcoin. The what happens next line. Oh my God, that is the most clickbaity thing on earth. But people fall for it. Hey, 80% are going to do what 80%ers are going to do. Here's a funny site. And this site is probably better than most of the mainstream news articles about Bitcoin. It's called coinmarketcrap.co. Coinmarketcrap.co. So it's linked to below. It is very funny. It gives the rankings of all the coins out there. Bitcoin is first, and then what's below it is quite hilarious. I think I covered everything there. Yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot, everyone. Remember, tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 11 a.m. on the West Coast and 1 p.m. in Chicago in the Central Time Zone. I'm Adam. For This Week at Bitcoin, we got some great guests. Bitcoin Teen, I know a lot of you are excited about that. I saw you guys posted about that. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, pound that like button, bang that bell button if you need a reminder when we go live. Or maybe you'll get that reminder. It's up to YouTube. I'll see you guys in the chat right now. Click on those squares you see.